The makeup is makeup. She know what she's doing at least. Hi you guys, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Donna Dolce, and if you are now seeing this 25 to my right, you guessed correctly. Your girl just turned 25. And I want to share with you guys my experiences on the things that I've learned by the age of 25, the things that I'm still learning, still unlearning. And I'm going to be doing all of this while doing my makeup because today I have a birthday dinner and I am so excited to share with you guys what is going on. In addition, my birthday was yesterday on January 24th and today is now January 25th. I'm also going to be looking down a bit in my notes. You definitely can't see it because I write literally like the size of an ant. So I'm going to be looking down on my notes for everything that I wanted to be able to share with you guys. These are my personal experiences on the things that I've learned and the things that I want to be able to have you guys also learn and also not do and to stay away from, just so you know it's real and that you know it's not from no Google, it's nothing else. This is the raw real me and the tea that I want to put you all onto while doing my hair and makeup, of course. Now I'm going to start by moisturizing my face with this Tatcha replenishing and pumping cream. And to start, the first thing that I believe that I have learned that is so important by the age of 25 is to put God first. And for those who are spiritual or believe in a higher entity, I believe that for me personally, putting God first has been one of the most crucial things to my, not only my success, but my mental health, just me feeling like I'm at ease when it comes to a lot of things. When you put God first and when you go to God about certain things, it eliminates so much confusion about what you need to do and what's the next step for you. Think about it. Like, have y'all ever had that prayer, God, if this person is not meant to be in my life, please remove them? That's you going to God first about who that person is and the value that they have on your life. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have experienced this too, where it starts happening fast. You make that prayer and God removes them with a swiftness. Like, they're gone. They're gone in a swiftness. And it's just so crazy how fast that prayer could literally change your relationship with people. But in addition, going to God about not only people, but certain opportunities. Just because it's a good door doesn't mean that it's a God door. So you have to make sure, like, going to God about certain things first, whether it's your health, whether it's anything about like new opportunities that you have coming up, whatever the case may be, like, go to God about it first so you won't have to feel like you're playing catch up or feeling like you don't know what's next or if this person is meant to be in your life, because that's something you don't want to do. The second thing is it's okay to start over at the age of 25, but I'm going to take out the age of 25 because honestly, I've started over many times, especially after college too and while at college. And I think that people need to, you know, really understand that it is okay to start over. It's okay to not do the same things that you once thought you were going to do for the rest of your life. It's okay to switch your major, which is what I've done. It's okay to be able to say, hey, like, this job is not serving me anymore and I want to be able to like start all over. I'm not happy with this location that I'm in, whether I'm living in Jersey, New York, Colorado, wherever. I want to go and move off to a new location. It is okay to start over. Oftentimes, we need a reset. This is just a confirmation for any of you guys who are looking to go back to school, who are looking to get a new job. And for example, I graduated 2-3 years ago and I start school on Tuesday. It is literally Saturday right now. And it's okay to be able to like start all over, and especially to try something different. A lot of times we think like, oh yeah, like I'm a failure because I just can't get it right and all that stuff, or I just keep having to start all over and over and over again. But you're not a failure. You're doing everything that you need to do to figure out what's best for you. So yeah, all in all, like, just don't be afraid to start over at whatever age you're at. I also use the Benefit brow pencil just to be able to shape and to line my brows. Next, I'm going to go with my Fenty Beauty, and I use this if you can see here, to like shape the underlid of my eyebrows in order to like really get that nice shape that I want. I think I want my eyebrows a little bit on the thinner side today, so I'm going to make sure I add like a decent amount of concealer because I'm trying to give up a certain look for today, and y'all gonna see. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. But the next thing is choose people that choose you, and I'm learning this recently, very recently. If there are people in your life who do not want to have you a part of their life anymore, or you don't want to be a part of their life anymore in a certain way or capacity, it is okay to let go, but don't try to force it. You're not meant to force anybody who wants to leave to stay in your life. You have to understand your self-worth is way more valuable than you begging for someone to try to stay in your life to fulfill a certain void that you may be missing, or to just save a relationship that, you know, may need to have some changes and all that stuff. And it's okay. And even in the workplace, if there's a job that decides to let you go, then it's okay. That job wasn't for you. My mom always tells me, if someone lets you go, or if a job lets you go, then that wasn't what God had for you. Yesterday was actually my last day at a job, and honestly, I cried about it. I was very hurt. But when I took a step back and really reflected on what I wanted to do and what that job was, it wasn't aligned with what I wanted to do. It wasn't aligned with who I was as a person and what I was interested in. So me being separated from that job, it just didn't even matter as much as I thought it did, especially considering that I'm going back to school and I was working that job full time. It wouldn't have worked. That was just God pushing me towards my divine purpose on where I'm supposed to be and where I'm supposed to go. I'm also going to take the House Lab Skin Tech Foundation and put that on the upper corner of my eyebrows just so it can blend in a little bit more, because I like it when my upper eyebrow is darker than the bottom of my eyebrow. And as far as a relationship goes, if things are meant to end with people, then you just have to allow it to happen, especially if you want to be able to let go and fully be able to move on with your life and what your goals are, and also allow the other person to grow and focus on what their life is and what their goals are. You can't hold anyone hostage, and no one can hold you hostage as well. So you have to be comfortable with the idea of letting go. It's so hard. Like, I'm still learning it till this day, and it's easier said than done, but you need to be able to do those things if you really want to be able to succeed. These are the eyebrows. I want them to be a little bit thinner. Maybe let me know what you guys think. Like, are they giving like sister, distant cousins? Like, let me know what's it giving. Let me know. The next thing that I'm about to say, like, a lot of people have probably already heard it so much, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people are still working towards it, but just pay off them credit card bills. Please pay off them credit card bills. It is literally not that deep. It is not worth it. You could definitely hold off on those retail expenses so you could be able to pay off your debt. Please, y'all. It has taken me some time to really understand that. And I don't know why, because it's like I knew, but when you have like a shopping problem, which I've gotten way better at, but when you have like a shopping problem, or you spend money just frivolously, however, it is literally gonna bite you later on. So definitely pay off whatever you need to pay off now so you won't have to worry about it later. Please. The next thing is, it's okay to be Mrs. Nice Girl, because that's definitely who I am. I don't really ever think I considered myself like a mean girl, but just be mindful that with being Miss Nice Girl or holding that title, not to let other people walk all over you, because once they see that you're so nice and that they can walk all over you, they're gonna keep doing it. So make sure you're able to put your foot down and to say, hey, like, Yes, I'm nice to you and all that stuff, but I got boundaries, and I also got some bark to my bite. I've definitely had to unlearn being the nice girl so many different times in my life because of the fact that like I didn't want to step on people's toes or make them feel as though I didn't like them, or have them think of me in a different perception. Once you give people an inch, they gonna take that mile. They gonna take them miles, and they gonna go all the way to hell. They gonna take it all the way to hell. So definitely make sure that you're doing that. But definitely make sure that you're doing that. You're not being the nice girl to just anybody, because not everyone deserves it. Next, I'm gonna go with my NYX glue. I got this in the shade black because they didn't have the clear one, but honestly the clear one I believe is the best one. But this is like one of the best glues too. I know that there's other glues as well that creators have used, like the Anastasia one and all, but I genuinely think that like if they do the same thing, you could just go out of Walgreens, a Target, a whatever store, or your local hair store, and you purchase this and it'll literally do the just deed. Look at that. Look at that eyebrow. Look at how it made my eyebrows look. I did this side, now look at how it made the eyebrow look. What I like to do is brush up and then all the way to the end, and then just feather this out on the side like that. And then lastly for the eyebrows, I like it when like it looks a little bit natural on the inner corners and all stuff, so I like to just brush that towards each other just so it doesn't look as crazy, just so it doesn't look as filled and all that stuff. Like I want it to look as natural as possible. Now the eyebrows are a little bit too thick for my liking, so I think I'm gonna go over them a little bit to make them a bit thinner. Okay, this is better. I think they're a little bit more thin. Let's just go with this. The next thing I'm gonna use is the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. This I got from Sephora, and I honestly have been loving it. It gives me that matte base and all that stuff for me to just have that finish that's like not even too oily or dewy. Like today is definitely gonna be like a matte look. I don't want to put too much. But the next thing I want to talk about is doing research prior on the people that you network with. I understand the whole concept of it's about who you know, not what you know. And yes, that is very, very true. I feel like that is something that you should really hone in on. However, just because you know someone doesn't mean that they're always going to be there to help you out. And just because you know someone doesn't mean that they're always going to be the people that you really want to know at the end. There are some people who you will literally meet to have opportunities and open doors for, but they will be the ones who are sitting here and talking about you behind your back to the people who you're trying to have opportunities with. Please close that door. Please do research on that. Don't take that lightly. And just make sure that you're paying attention to who you're networking with. Do research on them and all stuff. Hey, what do you know about this person? Hey, how does this person handle conflict? Whatever the case may be, definitely stay and watch out for certain signs. And also when you're networking, make sure that you are building a genuine connection with the people that you want to have lifelong partnerships with. If this is someone who you want to be able to learn from or to be able to have in your life long term, make sure you're networking with them the right way and all that stuff. Not to say that like all relationships has to work with the people that you network with, but it's important for you to be able to keep in mind that you always have to maintain a certain level of professionalism, whether you are there dealing with the person to whether you're like, peace out, I don't want to deal with you no more. Always make sure you're maintaining your professionalism when it comes to that, and keep in mind that some contacts can be good and help you excel for your goals, and some could be very hindering for it. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to go with my House Labs foundation. I'm going to just put like a big swatch of like 2 on my face. I always put like 2 or 3 and then go along the lines of whether I need more or not, depending on what it's giving at the end. But I always just start with 2-3 pumps on my face and then just go from there, and to just blend one section until I want to move on to the other. And if I need to add more, then I need to add more. This is how it's looking so far. I'm gonna just bring that closer to, this is how it's looking so far. Look at how that blends perfectly well. The next thing I want y'all to focus on is not really striving so much for perfection. And this is very hypocritical of me to say, being the perfectionist that I am when it comes to certain things. I would hold myself back a lot when it comes to posting content, when it comes to just being on live and all, like, or showing up the way that I really want to, because I would strive for perfection. For a long time, I wanted to be able to get to a certain level, but I only wanted to do it if I thought it was absolutely perfect. And you should always strive to have your work be the best, but don't let it stop you from posting in general. If you have content that you want to be able to put out, but you're like, this isn't my best work, and you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it back to the point where you have so much self-doubt and never post it, then that's when it becomes a case where you need to stop striving for perfection and then just post. Your 75% of perfection could be the other person's 100% of perfection. And I think that's what people want to see. They want to see the authenticity of your post. They want to see your mess ups and all stuff. They want to see like the times where like you don't always look perfect and everything like that. I feel like that's what comes with being a creator, but it also comes with being a person. And I feel like we've adapted so much to the, we have to be perfect and this, that, and the third because of social media. Of course, we see everyone living this so perfect lives on social media, on what they have, what they wear, the girls they have, the guys that they're around. And we believe that that's something that isn't attainable to us unless we strive for the very, very best and perfect thing to do. Like, I have to get the perfect this, perfect that. You're draining yourself. It's okay. Slow down. Being perfect and all that stuff is only in the eye of the beholder. Someone could see Beyonce and think that she's a 10. But what if there's someone else who's out here and saying, oh yeah, Beyonce is not a 10? Someone out here could be simply saying like, oh yeah, Beyonce is not a 10 and all that stuff. She's like a 9 and all that stuff, yeah, to 8.5, whatever. But someone could be like, oh nah, Beyonce is like the most beautiful person in the world. Make sure that you're not always striving for perfection. And if you are, make sure it's a reasonable kind of perfection that you are trying to reach, and not the ones that end up holding you back in the end. Next, I'm going to go with my two concealers, the Born This Way concealer. I'm going to go in the shades Chai and Maple. Maple being the smaller one, Chai being the bigger one. Next thing I want to talk about is stop being afraid to be seen by others. And what I mean by that is it's okay to be able to be seen, to also have the spotlight. There was times in my life where I would try to dim my light just so others could shine. And no one asked me to do that. No one asked me to be able to do that, and no one is telling me to do that, but I just felt like I had to be able to just put myself down in like a way that doesn't make them feel like, you know, lesser about themselves or so, or just doing things that just would be only for their benefit. And I feel like that's kind of a case of you putting yourself in a lesser position where you were afraid to be seen just so you can let others shine. You're doing a disservice to you and the other person. It's unfair to you because you're not operating in your fullest potential, and it's unfair to them because you're not matching their energy. And you should only be around people, and people should only be around you if energies are matched. So definitely keep that in mind. The next thing that I would say is very important is to consume less and to create more. If you are a creator, it's important to consume. Yes, if you're a YouTuber, you want to be able to watch YouTube. If you are a person who wants to be able to do TikTok videos on a certain topic, you search up similar topics based off of the TikTok video that you want to push out. However, don't overconsume other people's content, because then that's when you start to be able to lose your originality and start to either copy their stuff or compare yourself. And I've been very guilty of it, and I think that's something that should definitely be stopped right in its tracks before it gets too late and you're doing the whole thing of striving for perfection again. The next thing I would say is also to be rich in not only mental health, but also in your physical health, being rich also in the time that you spend with others, being rich in everything else out of life, instead of just trying to be rich with money. Money isn't everything. Money can buy you happiness, I feel like. Yes, 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 I said it. However, I feel like money is only money can only buy you a certain level of happiness, especially whether you have it or not. Having money can buy you happiness, but having money can also stress you out because of you having to give it. The more money you have, the more problems sometimes. Like, let's be honest with it. Let's be honest. So definitely be sure to be rich in health, mental health, physical health, emotional health, all of that before you try to have the biggest amount of riches and everything else. It is not going to help you at the end of the day. Next thing I would say is to definitely spend more time alone. I've learned this a lot more, I would say, at the end of 2024. Spending alone time with myself has definitely helped me to be able to feel a lot more at peace and at ease with just knowing who I am, to learn the different things about myself that I hadn't known, the things that I do like, the things that I don't like, and all, reflecting on certain situations that I've been through and really taking the time to be like, hey, like, this isn't something that I like, this isn't something that serves me and all. And sometimes you can only figure that out when you are alone. When you're surrounded by people all the time, it gets hard to really just have a laser focus on what it is you want to do, what it is you want to achieve. But when you are alone, it's like, okay, like, I feel like I can really reflect on this situation. I can reflect on the things that I've been through and I can learn from it. Oftentimes when the things that I tend to do when I'm alone is I write letters to God. I talk to God and I pray to him, and I try to listen to him at times when there are things that I may not understand. And I feel like that's things that you can only achieve when you're alone. You can't really have that alone time with God, or that time to really reflect on what it is you need and don't need, unless you have that time with him, unless you really have that time with him. And I'm pretty sure we all know, but in order to really heal, sometimes you have to be alone, and you have to not, have other romantic partners. You have to not talk to as much people and all that stuff. You really need to reflect on certain situations by yourself. So it is okay to be alone. It is okay to have time to yourself. It is okay to be able to pour into your own cup when you feel as though your cup has been poured into everybody else. And that brings me on to my next topic. Show up for people, but don't forget to show up for yourself at the end of the day. It is okay to pour into other people's cups, especially when they are people who you love, like your parents, your children, your wife, your husband, your best friend. However, you have to remember to pour into your cup as well, and to be able to give that stuff back to yourself, to be stingy with the water that you're pouring into other people. Because at the end of the day, if you keep pouring into everybody else's cup, who's going to pour back into yours? You're not going to have any water left. So make sure that you're always pouring into your cup and putting yourself first when it comes to that. So at the end of the day, show up for yourself. The next thing is learn how to say no. Please, 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 please learn how to say no. I don't care who it is. If it's your mom, if it's your boyfriend, if it's your job and all that stuff, like, oh, you can't come into work and all, like, say it. Say no. People have a tendency to be a yes man. People, i.e. me, I've been a yes man for so long when it comes to pouring my energy into people who will not pour back into me. Saying no, saying yes to everyone, but when I feel as though I'm not receiving me in other people, that's when it's like, okay. There's something's energies is not it's not matching here. So we have to be able to say no when it comes to like certain things. Like, pour into your own cup. Like, that's all it is. Say no to these people, y'all. That's going to affect your mental health later on. And it's better to say no now and change your mind and say yes later than for you to automatically say yes and then have to feel bad about retracting that yes just to say no. No, 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 no. Think about it now. Say no first. Yes, later. Always. Please, please, please. I promise you. Thank me later. Thank me later when you start saying no. The next thing is to focus on the now. The future is coming. The future is going to be there. Yes, you are setting up your future. Yes, you are doing all that you can to be able to make sure you have a bright future for you, your kids, your family, all of that stuff, which is very, very important and admirable if you ask me. However, one thing I'm guilty of and one thing that I've seen people do is drive themselves crazy trying to focus so much on what their future is supposed to be or how it's supposed to look like, and it needs to be that exact way, that they tend to lose focus on the now. Your now is way more important than your future because it's your controllable. You can only control what you can control now. You can't control what you're going to control in the future. You can't just go 10 years, a year, 2 minutes into the future and all that stuff. You have to be able to control every single last thing right now in order to shape and build your future. So all in all, just focus on it now. Next, if you are a spiritual person or believe in a higher entity like God, whoever else, I believe in God. Make sure that you are watering that part. Like, I see a lot of people, and I'm guilty of it too. We focus on, oh, I wake up in the morning, I gotta focus on like my physical health. I gotta focus on my mental health, emotional health, and also my social health and everything. But what about your spiritual? Your spiritual is one of the most important parts of yourself. That is your spirit. That is your inner being and all stuff. That's your energy. That is your aura. People don't really focus on their spiritual as much, and they wonder why we get so confused on doing all these different things, why we don't have a clear and set way of thinking in life, because we're not guided by anything. We're not guided by anything that we believe in, and we also are just going with the flow when it comes to certain things. So all in all, I feel like focusing on your spiritual health and your mental health as well, just, you know, whether it's you praying, you journaling, writing letters to God, reading the Bible, meditation and all that stuff, listening to like soothing sounds, whatever it is to help you tap into your spiritual, do that. The next thing I would say is cherish the moments you have with loved ones. For me, I recently lost my grandma last year, and one of my biggest regrets was not spending as much time with her because I had everything going on in my life at work and all that stuff. I was a whole hour away from her. I didn't have a car, and I also was just going through a lot myself. So around the time when my grandmother died, I felt like, yeah, I was there and I would visit here and there, but I just didn't feel as though I was actively present the way that I would have wanted to. And it fed into my relationship with like my mom and my brother and all that stuff, and they're my immediate family. And when you don't have that big of a family and all that stuff, like, it gets hard. Things are more personal. So I think that was like definitely one of like my biggest regrets, like, you know, not spending so much time with like, you know, my grandmother when I could. Like, I probably could have like made more of an effort if I had like, you know, called out of work and all that stuff to like, you know, go visit home or do any of those things. So definitely cherish your loved ones when you have them. So cherish those moments, especially with friends, family, co-workers, whatever you can do. Just Cherish it. Next, I'm gonna go with my Ruby Kisses. I wanted to get a cream blush, and I wanted to get it from Sephora. However, I was like, I'm not spending cream blush money right now. Like, someone from Sephora told me that I could literally just get one of these and then just start off with that, and I think that's what I'm sticking to. Thank you, girl. We gotta be able to save a little bit of money. I'm gonna get my cream blush, but just not now. But let me know in the comments any cream blushes that y'all would recommend. I definitely want to get into the cream blushes, but this is just going to have to do for now. This is just gonna have to do for now. And I'm honestly just blending that in with the contour that I have. The next thing I would also say is to keep your room clean. Please keep your room clean. There's nothing more worse than having a bad day and you have to come home to your room or your house and you see a whole bunch of mess on your floor, dishes in the sink and all that stuff. Like, you mean to tell me that I'm having a bad day and I gotta clean all of this up? No. No. Please miss me. That is one of the things that I cannot stand. Like, moving back home, I have learned how annoying it is to leave out the house, especially to leave out the house and then having to come back home and then clean over and over again. Like, it's just, let's leave that in 2024. Let's leave that in 2024. The next thing I would say to do is plan out your day, because you want to be able to like have a purpose and a goal with every single last thing that you are doing in a day. You don't want to just be dilly-dallying and being like, oh yeah, like, you know, everything is perfectly fine. No. Go and plan in that planner what you are going to do today. You don't know what you're going to do today, but just go in that planner and be like, okay, like, I'm going to do this for a few minutes and all stuff. I'm going to do this for like another few minutes. Just like focus on planning out your day so you just don't feel like you're all over the place and that you're just doing things that you didn't want to do at the end of the day. Like, plan it out. Plan out your week, actually. Look at how pretty that pink is. Oh, gosh. I find it so cute. Like, I should have been doing blush way long in advance. Next thing is to just talk to yourself nicely. Like, a lot of times we just could be our worst critic and we could be so hard on ourselves. Like, no one else could be as hard on us as much as we are. I genuinely feel like sometimes we take it too much to a point where we just feel like we're so undeserving of certain things, when no, like, that is not the case. Like, you deserve a whole bunch and more, but you need to be able to talk nice to yourself, to treat yourself with some kindness. And that is something that I wish that I have done a lot when I just came out of college. This normally happens to people who, you know, who just graduated and who are like, you know, what do I do next with my life and all that stuff. I just spent so much time in school and I don't even think that I've accomplished things and all that stuff. Or what did I go to this 4-year for if it's not for the degree that I want to be in? Like, I feel like that's something that we all face. Like, even if you didn't go to college, like, there's times where we're like, oh, why did I waste my time at this job? Blah, 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 all of that. But don't be too hard on yourself for the things that you have been through, the things that you have experienced. It all happened for a divine reason, a divine purpose. And all of that led you to right here. Even if you were having a terrible day, even if you were having a terrible week, just make sure that you are talking nice to yourself. If everyone else is talking to you down and treating you like trash, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you can talk to yourself nicely. You could treat yourself with the respect that you want. Treat yourself with the level of love, kindness, and respect that you want to be able to receive. And it starts with you giving it to yourself. Next, I'm going to go with my Fenty powder to start baking. I don't even know if like there's many girls who like be baking as much, but like I don't be seeing a lot of creators bake as much. Maybe I'm not watching the right people, but yeah, let me know if I'm doing it right or wrong. So please watch me and let me know in the comments, like, girl, you need to fix it. Please let me know. But the next thing I would say is to be honest very early when it comes to just everything. Be honest to people. Be honest about things that you want to do, and things that you don't want to do. Situations that you've put yourself in, situations that you may not have put yourself in, and you decided to stay, but you didn't want to be honest with yourself, and you believed that you wanted it, but you didn't. And I know I'm being very vague, but I feel like this happens to like a lot of people where we're just not honest with ourselves about things that we wanted to end, or places that we wanted to stop going to, whether it's work, relationships that needed to be able to end in order for us to really grow, or just different things in relationships as well. Whatever it is, just be honest with yourself and with the other person to avoid hurt and pain later, to avoid having to lie to other people later, to avoid having to lie to yourself even more, to make yourself feel more comfortable that, you know, you want to stay here, that you want to keep going through the things that you have dealt with for a very long time, but because you've dealt with it for so long, you feel like you cannot escape it. Be honest with yourself about that early on, just so you won't be able to deal with the heartbreak as much later. And speaking to myself and speaking to the younger me who lied to herself for a long time when it came to certain situations that she's been through. So definitely, ooh. And please make sure you're keeping it 100 with other people too, because that affects your credibility as a person on whether or not you are honest, or whether or not you are someone who could be trusted. So definitely be sure to do that early on before it is too late. The next thing is, don't feel bad for trying new things and ending the old things. Like if it's, you know, you restarting a job, and I know I kind of repeated this already, but just you having to end like different things that don't serve you anymore. Be mindful of that and be okay with it, but also be so open to trying new things. Like I just tried aerial silks not too long ago, and it's gonna be in the next video that I post, but I had so much fun. The next few days my neck was absolutely torn and broken. I could have sworn I tore a ligament, but it was one of the most rejuvenating feelings that I ever had, because I was doing something for myself and I was trying something new without anyone feeling like, you know, they had to tell me, oh, why are you trying this and all that stuff? Don't you think you're doing too much? Or is this something that like you really think that you want to do and commit to? Like even when like I was telling my mom, she was like, why do you want to do that? Like and I was like, I just want to do it. Be unapologetically you. Try things openly and just, you know, give your whole heart to it, especially if it's something that everyone else is doing. Like I've seen this thing so much, especially on social media, where people are like, oh no, like I don't want to have a cooking video, or I don't want to have like, you know, a cooking show and all that stuff because my friend does it, or I don't want to be a DJ because my friend is already doing it. No, it doesn't matter if your friend is already doing it and all that stuff. Why can't you do it too? Next, I'm gonna go with my Ruby's Kisses setting powder. If it's one thing about me and Ruby's Kisses, we locked in. So Ruby's Kisses, if you see this, hey, sponsor me. I gotcha. I just want to let y'all know I gotcha. I'm gonna put a light amount of setting powder around certain places that I want to just set for the rest of the day. I feel like my face is already kind of set, but I just want to put it like under my eyelids just to have that really nice and, you know, matte look. And the next thing that I also want to be able to address is just being yourself. Like I was so afraid for the longest of people seeing my personality and being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, she's extra, she's doing too much, or like she's a weirdo. However, you know how many weirdos out here in this world for you to like be afraid of people who's saying, oh yeah, you a weirdo, you this, you that. We all weird. We are all weird. So it makes no difference to me like what people say to me anymore about how I am, about who I am, about how I present myself, because I love myself. I love who I am. And it took me a while to get here. It took me a while to be able to come into the comfortability with the woman that I'm becoming, the woman who I am right now. And I feel like that's something that every man and woman should hold. Like, you should always be yourself. In a workplace, yes, in a workplace, you could code switch, whatever you got to do, but just stick to yourself. Stick to being yourself. And on top of that, with people who you first meet, like, you don't want to just be one way and then the next thing you know, like, people are seeing like a whole different side of you and it's just like, oh, well, who is this? No. I feel like for the longest I've been unapologetically like myself. But it just took me some time to be comfortable being myself around like certain people. So always be yourself. The next thing is slow and steady wins the race. Don't try to plan like 20,000 things in one day. I have a tendency to try to be superwoman and put 5 different things that I want to do and achieve in one day, especially when it comes to content creation. I'm like, okay, I'm going to batch create this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to also perm my hair. Like, which I don't even perm my hair. I don't even know why I said that. But like just coming up with all of these different extra tasks to do. And I feel like for me, it's been a form of anxiety. It's been a form of avoiding the things that you want to do, and it's a void of procrastination. You think that you are actually achieving and, you know, getting all of those things done by doing so much, but no, like you are procrastinating in itself by trying to add on all of these extra tasks that you know are not necessary. Like, why are you mowing the carpet? Why are you ironing the table? You see how that didn't make any sense? Exactly. Stop doing it. Focus on what you need to focus on. Please. Please. And I'm speaking to myself. Because slow and steady wins the race. And not even only with that, if you are learning to do your makeup and you want to be able to achieve certain makeup looks, don't try to sit here and rush and buy all of these different things that you see from all of these different creators. Buy something, go to Sephora or go to the drugstore or go to the hair store even and try it out. See if you like it. I clearly still use hair store makeup and all stuff, and as you can see, it is doing me wonders. I don't need no extra rah-rah on my face and all that stuff. Like, do what you need to do and be enjoying of, like, you know, the slow and steady race. You don't have to, like, you know, rush to get everything else that other people have. We almost there, y'all. I know I got a lot of tips, but how's the makeup looking? Y'all like it? I like it. I like it. Next, I'm gonna line my lips with this very small pencil that I don't know where it is from. I believe it is from, I'm not even gonna sit here and try to cap to y'all. Let's go. The next advice that I have for you guys is don't follow your parents' dreams. And a lot of times I have seen in college, and also being a person who went to college myself and was going for something completely different, but I didn't end up getting into that major, and it was something that my mom wanted me to do. You start to like be very hard on yourself because you want to be able to have your parents be so proud of you, especially for living out their dreams. But no. No, honey, no. Be rebellious. Do what makes you happy at the end of the day and follow your own dreams. Live the life that you want, not the life that your parents missed out. The lips are lipping. The makeup is makeuping. Like, this is a nice, good, soft beat. Like, I'm in love. I'm in love. I'm in love. The next thing is I'm going to use are my NYX lip glosses in the shade Fortune Cookie and Madeline. I'm going to put that on now, but I'm just gonna like let it stay there while I also do my liner. I'm gonna do my eyeliner off camera, solely because if I'm sitting here talking, doing my liner, it's gonna end up looking like a 5-year-old scribble scrabble across their face. The liners that I'm going to use are this liner from Shein. I got it. It's called the Neon Eyeliner by Kiss. And then this is the Nicole Niel New York liner. I'm going to be mixing a black and a white liner today. Even though my dress and everything is only white, I do want to give, like, you know, my edge on my eyes a little pop. So I'm excited. I don't know if I'm gonna mess it up. I hope, like, maybe if I leave it like this, it'll be good, because it'll give, like, you know, a nice soft glam. However, I do want to try something a little bit different. The goal is to do Hollywood vintage glam today, but I want to do something with my makeup to make it stand out a bit more. But this in itself is perfectly fine, and I'm talking and yapping my gums out with my makeup like this, so just in case it doesn't look like this later on, it's like, okay, she know what she's doing at least. So let me know if y'all like this. But the last thing I feel is important for everyone to realize is to forgive yourself. You're gonna make mistakes. You are going to make mistakes when you are 2 years old, when you're 18, and when you're 25. And I'm going to make more mistakes. And I already know I'm gonna make more mistakes past 25, but that's the way of life. And there's gonna be things that you put yourself in a deep despair or self-blaming habit of doing, and you need to just be able to, you know, have your moment and all that stuff. You can mope around for however as long as you want, but don't keep yourself down there. Don't be in a place where you can't forgive yourself so much to the point where you just feel as though like you are unworthy. And the Lord wants you to know that you are worthy. You are worthy of forgiveness. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of all of the things that you felt were taken away from you, and you will get it back. So just in case you don't know, make sure you forgive yourself. I feel like this is one of the most important things that I can give as an advice, aside from the very first thing of choosing God, because there's often times where we feel as though we're undeserving of the love or forgiveness that we have already been given by God. And God is looking at us like, my child, like, why are you putting yourself through so much hurt, through so much pain? That is the enemy. I've already forgiven you for that. You don't have to keep putting yourself through a low vibrational pull of just anger, of just, you know, resentment, of just regret. Like, you don't have to. That's already done away with. Forgive yourself. I'm going to end with this verse from the Bible that I feel like ties into this whole saying of learning to forgive yourself. And it's from Colossians 3, verse 13. And it says, "Bear with one another and forgive each other. If anyone has a complaint against you, forgive as the Lord already forgave you." That's big. So forgive others and forgive yourself just as the Lord has already forgive you. Or if you want God to forgive you for the things that you have already done to others that may not have been good, and you keep beating yourself up about it, then you have to be able to forgive other people. God forgives you in the same measure that you choose to forgive other people. So, food for thought. If you have made it this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, but if you want to stay tuned for the exclusive, keep watching. Keep watching in the next clip where I show you guys what I'm wearing and enjoying the rest of the video. I love y'all so much, and I thank you guys so much for even being here with me, for all of my new subscribers, for all of my returning subscribers. Thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate y'all, and it's only up from here. It's only up from here. 25 is a great age, but it's also going to be a great year in 2025. So, and this is the final look, y'all. I hope you guys like, and now we're gonna go to the dinner, so catch you in the next video. Oh. Hi. Happy birthday. Oh, yay. Oh, it's gonna be a full show. Oh, y'all just gonna stay. What should we do Thursday? Thank you so much. Thursday, thank you so much for coming. These are my high school friends. Yes, these are my sisters. Everyone. Yes. Yo. Yes. You want me to take a picture of you at the table? Oh my gosh, stop. Yes, Daddy.
Fix your hair a little bit on the side.
Yeah, I'm like, why did you have them tatas up? Show them what you're working with.
Look at those numbers.
You gotta be like, show them what you're working with.
Ready?
Okay.
I didn't know. I thought. I mean, yeah, but
That's why I was like, I mean, y'all
over this side a little bit.
Okay. What should I do? I'm scared.
I think just you can have a little hand on the table. Like if you want to hold, there should be like a little.
Okay. Let me get my rings.
I'm screaming.
Okay. What's your name again?
I don't know what's happening here.
What? It's a vlog.
I feel like my eyes is cross-eyed.
No, it's not. But it's good lighting.
Oh, that's good. Sorry.
Wait, go ahead for 1 second. I'm gonna get a solo shot.
I figured out it's a no, I think it's one. Okay, look to the side. I want to take like the
Like here?
hold on, one more.
I don't know why I was sucking my breath for that. That is so pretty. Yes. Okay. Okay. I want to just do one more like
Detail, but like your dress in this way.
in this way.
Try not to get other people in it.
Not so many content creators in here. Everybody brought their little camera. You know Thursday content creators? So what am I doing? I had a little drink. Hey, I don't get to be content. Okay. Oh, y'all gonna miss out on the content of food. The food is here!
That's somebody's birthday.
I want to take a picture with every single last person here.
This is enough on this side. It's just the chickens. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, I don't think I like that. I like that one. I had to make this real. Oh yeah.
'em. Not on bullshit.
Is this the same thing as the beef and broccoli or no? That's what it's given. They're both good? Oh, where's the beef and broccoli? The beef and broccoli is over there. Yeah, you can hold it. Shut up. Is it good or didn't?
Oh, this is so cute.
Happy birthday,
dear. Oh, different names, different names.
Happy birthday to you.
21.
Hey, what is this? I'm proud. Halloween. All right, great. Thank you.
Good.